A business does not need to make you a celebrity to change your life, not in the slightest. If you spend the last 5, 10, maybe 15 years building a career, you're good at what you do. People actually trust you. You probably have skills that took some years to develop. Maybe you're even earning good money. But somewhere in the back of your mind, you keep thinking to yourself, do you know what? I want something of my own. The next question is, okay, but what do I do? What do I need to start? If this sounds like you, then this video is just for you. Because I genuinely believe a lot of people are much closer to entrepreneurship than they realize. Hey everyone, my name's Tommy. And over the last few months, I've been working quite closely with people at different stages of businesses. Some people already had a business, some had ideas, some were literally starting from scratch. And something has become really clear to me. The people I often feel the most excited about helping are actually the people that are right at the beginning of their journey. The person who says, Tommy, I know I want something. I know that I'm capable. I just don't know what business is yet. Or it could be the person that says to me, I have an idea, but I don't know how to actually turn it into something real. A lot of those people are professionals. A lot of those people have been working for a long time. They spent years becoming good at one thing, but they've never really been taught entrepreneurship. So today, I want to show you how I would think about making that transition. Not quitting your job tomorrow, not chasing some overnight success fantasy, but actually beginning to build something intelligently. Now, this is probably the first thing I want you to understand. Okay, so if you've worked for 10 years, you're not starting from zero. You might be starting your first business from zero, but you are not starting from zero. There's a difference. You've developed experience in your time. You know how your industry works. You understand problems. You know how to communicate them with people. Maybe you've managed a team. Maybe you've worked with clients. Maybe you understand systems. Maybe you've handled budgets. Maybe you spend years developing one very specific skill. That right there is capital. It's not financial capital necessarily, but it's intellectual capital, experience capital, relationship capital. And sometimes the business you're looking for is hiding inside things that feel completely normal to you because you've done them for so long. Someone might have spent 12 years in HR and think, I just work in HR. No, you're completely wrong. You might understand hiring, onboarding, employee conflict, performance management, recruitment, CVs, interviews. Those are problems companies and individuals pay to solve. Someone might be a teacher, for example. Someone might work in insurance, healthcare, hospitality, finance, beauty, marketing. You don't necessarily need to invent something revolutionary. And I think this is where people get things wrong. Start by asking, what do I already know that somebody else finds difficult? They go online and they type best businesses to start in 2026. And now suddenly everybody wants the exact same business because somebody made a saying it's passive income. I don't think that should be your first question, to be honest. I will start with 4 things. Number 1, what am I good at? Number 2, what problems do I understand? Number 3, who has those problems? Number 4, will they pay to solve them? That last question is very important because something can be interesting without being commercially viable. We want to find the overlap between what you know and what people need and what people actually spend money on. That's where I would start. Another thing that keeps people stuck is thinking, I have to pick the business. The business I'm going to run for the next 30 years is what I need to focus on. That's absolutely wrong. Your first business might evolve. Your offer might change. Your audience might change as well, and that's absolutely fine. You might begin one way and realize there's a more profitable opportunity sitting right next to it. And that's absolutely normal in business. Entrepreneurship is not think perfectly, launch perfectly, everything works. Entrepreneurship is ultimately idea, test, then you get feedback. After the feedback, you adjust, you change things, and then you try again. Then you improve it. And eventually, you get stronger at recognizing what the market is telling you. So instead of asking yourself, is this the perfect idea? Ask yourself this question. Is this idea good enough to test? That question will move you much faster than anything else. Please hear me on this, okay? If you're starting your first business, okay, I hope you're listening. Do not spend 3 months obsessing over branding before you know whether anybody wants what you sell. I see this all the time. So fonts, colors, obsessing over the colors, website, spend too much time creating a website, beautiful Instagram feed, 0 conversations with 0 customers, okay? Your first priority is not making a business look massive at all. Misdirected focus. It's understanding what is the actual problem I'm solving and who has the problem that I'm trying to solve and what exactly am I offering? Okay. How much does it cost and how do I reach those people? That is business. But somebody has to want the thing. That thing you're selling, somebody needs to want it. One of the people we worked with recently was launching a tutoring business. Okay. So what we did, we worked on the model, the content, the outreach, and she got her first client within 3 weeks into the mentorship. That first client matters because now the idea has touched the market, right? And now we're learning. Okay. We live in a social media world and people think that I need 10,000 followers before anybody will pay me. I'm here to tell you right now that you don't. You can get customers through different channels. You can get customers through content, of course, but there's direct outreach, there's networking, there's referrals, people that you've worked with telling other people, there's partnership, very strategic partnerships, there's existing relationships, there's LinkedIn, there's events, email. I absolutely love email marketing. There's communities. One of the relocation business owners that we worked with focused on visibility and outreach and secured 2 clients during our mentorship. And that is why I always say, don't confuse followers with customers. And I know you've probably heard this before somewhere, but it's so true. But content is a tool, right? The goal is still business. Don't forget that. Keep your eye on the prize. Now, because sometimes entrepreneurship content online becomes a little bit irresponsible, I would say, right? You don't need to resign tomorrow. You don't need to go into work on Monday and then say to your boss, I'm betting on myself, guys. I'm betting on myself. I'm leaving you. Okay. No, please pay your mortgage, pay your rent. Nothing wrong with building intelligently. Keep your job, please. Okay. Build the offer first. Test the demand. Test it. Do people want it? Get some customers. Learn how sales works, right? Understand your numbers. Build the confidence. You can do this all while still in a job. Let the evidence help you make that decision, okay? Entrepreneurship is not about jumping off a cliff. It's about gradual steps, constantly building. And over time, that option may become big enough to change your life. I think social media has distorted our expectations a little bit. Everyone talks about £1 million businesses. You hear it everywhere now. You hear 100K months everywhere. Huge exits. I sold my business for billions. Amazing. This is great stuff. But I think about your actual life. What would an extra £1,000 a month do for you? $1,000 a month, an extra $3,000 a month, £5,000 a month do for you? Could it reduce your hours at work potentially? Could it help pay school fees? Could it increase your savings, allow you to travel a little bit more, help your parents, give you a little bit of breathing room, and it will eventually replace your salary? A business does not need to make you a celebrity to change your life, not in the slightest. And I think sometimes making the first goal smaller makes entrepreneurship feel much more achievable. Get that first client, then get the other client, okay? Then make the process repeatable. Then you start to build. One of the things I've really come to believe is environment. I love environment and how it impacts you, because if everybody around you thinks starting a business is crazy, you can begin to think that you're crazy too, okay? You say, I'm thinking about launching something. This is what you say to maybe people around you. And the immediate response sometimes is something like, what about you? If it fails, why don't you just focus on your job and get a promotion? And usually those people, they love you. They're saying it from a good place. They're trying to protect you from losing income. But sometimes you need to be around people where building something is normal, where conversations about offers and customers and marketing, these things are normal, they're not foreign. That changes the way you think ultimately. You start realizing that, oh, this is actually possible. And that is one of the reasons community matters so much in entrepreneurship. If I had a career today and I knew I wanted to start something, here's exactly what I would do. Okay, so first thing I would do is I would audit my experience. Okay, so what have I spent years learning, first of all? Secondly, I would then list the problems I understand really well. Then the third thing I will do is I would create one simple offer. Okay. The fifth thing then I would do after that is I would speak to the actual potential customers, not just friends, not just family, not just people telling me that my idea is amazing, but potential buyers and find out their opinion on this idea. Then I would start becoming visible around that problem. Okay. Content. This is where content comes in. LinkedIn, networking, very important ways when you're launching an idea, whatever makes sense. Now, the seventh thing that I will do is I will try to secure the first paying customer as quickly as reasonably possible, because that is where real learning begins. I would improve based on what happens. One reason why I'm so passionate about this now is because we've been seeing people at this stage making progress quite quickly once they have direction. We've worked with people that she's in the beauty sector, people in insurance, people that are in healthcare. But the problem is often repeated. What should I offer? Who am I selling to? Right? And how do I become visible to who I'm selling to? Okay. How do I actually get customers? How much do I charge? And how do I sink in? How do I actually execute? And that made us realize something really quite special and important, that business might be different. The actual businesses, the industries might be different, but the principles of building are very similar, regardless of what industry that you're in. This is actually part of why we are evolving the way we work with entrepreneurs. So we've worked with people in intense 6-week environments, and I absolutely love them because people can get a lot done in such a short space of time. And we've seen people launch in that time and actually get clients and find success, create offers, and build momentum, become visible in what they're doing. Sometimes something frustrating happens. Just as really starts, then the program ends. So we asking, what would happen if someone gave themselves one serious year, one serious committed year, a year to go from, I think I want a business, to I've got an idea. Then the next stage is I have an offer. Then the next stage is I have a customer. Then you go on to the next stage, which is I have systems to get more customers. I know exactly how it works now. Then I'm actually becoming a business owner. That is a very different journey. And that's what we're building with Elite Business Academy. Elite is a 12-month business building environment, and it's for the ambitious professionals and early stage entrepreneurs who are serious about building something of their own. You don't need to have everything figured out at all. We're going to be working through things like business ideas. We're going to be refining your ideas. We're going to be creating offers and refining your offers, your pricing, your visibility. We're going to make sure you are visible. We're going to work around your content, your outreach strategy as well, your sales strategy, clients, and actually understanding and serving clients well, your system. So you have a method of actually consistent clients, a team, growth, and the mindset required to become an entrepreneur. And most importantly, doing it with people that know exactly what they're doing and how they're doing it and supporting you all the way. So if you've been working for years and you keep having this feeling, I want something of my own, please do not ignore it forever. You don't have to quit tomorrow. You don't need the perfect plan. You really don't. You don't need to know exactly how the next 10 years is going to look, but maybe you do need to take that first step, okay? Give yourself one serious year. See what you can build. It's possible within a year to change your life. So if you're interested in Elite Business Academy, I'll leave the information below. And if you're not even sure what business you want to start yet, that's completely fine too. Comment idea below or use the link in the description and we'll point you in the right direction. If this video has made you think about somebody who's been talking about starting a business for the last 5 years, then send this to them, please. And I'll see you in the next video.